Let me ask you something real quick. If your car broke down tomorrow and the repair bill was $1,200, could you pay it without going into debt? If you hesitated even for a second, this video is for you. Because that right there, that pit in your stomach feeling, is exactly what an emergency fund is designed to kill forever. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly how much you need to save, where to keep the money, and the step-by-step system to build your emergency fund. Even if you are starting from zero. No fluff. No just stop buying coffee advice. Just a real plan that actually works. Let's get into it. What is an emergency fund? So first, what exactly is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is a dedicated amount of cash you set aside specifically for unexpected necessary expenses. Things like a medical bill, a car repair, a busted water heater, or losing your job. Notice what I said. Unexpected and necessary. An emergency fund is not for concert tickets when your favorite artist comes to town. It is not for Black Friday deals. It is not for a vacation because you really need a break. Those are wants. An emergency fund is for life punching you in the face without warning. Emergency, job loss, medical bills, car breakdown, urgent home repair. Not an emergency. Sale at your favorite store, a trip you planned, new phone because yours is slow. This distinction matters because most people I see dip into their emergency fund for non-emergencies, and then when a real emergency hits, they have nothing. Do not be that person. How much do you actually need? Okay, so how much should your emergency fund actually be? You have probably heard the rule, 3 to 6 months of expenses. And that is correct. But let me make it more specific for you so you know exactly what number you are shooting for. Here is how to calculate your number in about 2 minutes. Step 1. Add up your true monthly necessities. We are talking rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, minimum debt payments, and insurance. Do not include eating out, subscriptions, or fun money, just the basics to survive. Step 2. Multiply that number by 3 if you have a stable job with good job security, or multiply by 6 if your income is variable, you are freelance, or your industry has layoffs. For example, say your monthly necessities total $2,000. If you have a stable job, your emergency fund target is $6,000. If you are freelance or your income fluctuates, your target is $12,000. Write that number down. That is your finish line. Now, here is the most important mindset shift in this entire video. You do not need to hit that number tomorrow. You just need to start. Even $500 in an emergency fund changes your life. It means the next small emergency does not go on a credit card. It means you do not spiral into debt over a $400 car repair. Your first milestone is $500 to $1,000. Get there first, then build toward the full 3 to 6 months. Small wins compound. Where to keep your emergency fund. Now let's talk about where to keep your emergency fund because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Your emergency fund has one job: be there when you need it. So it needs to meet 3 criteria. 1. It needs to be accessible. You should be able to get to the money within 1 to 2 business days when a real emergency hits. 2. It needs to be separate from your everyday checking account. If it is too easy to access, you will spend it. Out of sight, out of temptation. 3. It should be earning some interest while it sits there. Not a lot, but something. Because money sitting in a checking account earning 0% is losing value to inflation every single day. The answer, and this is the move almost every financial expert agrees on, is a high-yield savings account, also called an HYSA. A high-yield savings account is basically a regular savings account that pays you significantly more interest than the standard big bank account. While traditional banks pay around 0.01% interest, high-yield savings accounts currently pay somewhere between 4 and 5% annually. That means if you have $10,000 sitting in a regular savings account, you earn about $1 a year. In a high-yield savings account, you earn around $450. Same money, just smarter placement. Popular options include Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally Bank, and SoFi. All are FDIC insured up to $250,000, which means your money is protected even if the bank goes under. No monthly fees, no minimums on most of them. You can open one in about 10 minutes from your phone. The step-by-step build system. All right, now the part you actually came for. How do you build this thing, especially when you feel like there is nothing left over at the end of the month? Here is the exact system I recommend. Step 1. Open the high-yield savings account today. Not this weekend, not next payday. Today. This step takes about 10 minutes on your phone and it costs you nothing. The reason this is step 1 is because the account has to exist before you can fill it. Obvious, but most people skip it and then keep planning for months. Step 2. Set your immediate goal at $500 to $1,000. Do not look at the full 3 to 6 months number right now. That number can feel overwhelming, and when things feel overwhelming, people do nothing. Just focus on $500 first. Step 3. Decide how much you will move into that account every single payday. Even if it is $25, even if it is $50, the exact amount matters less than the consistency. Here is a simple way to find that number. After you cover your necessities and minimum debt payments, whatever is left, put 20% of it into your emergency fund until you hit your goal. For example, if you have $400 left over each month after necessities, put $80 into the emergency fund. Keep the other $320 for life. That is it. At $80 a month, you hit $500 in about 6 months. You hit $1,000 in just over a year. Not fast, but it happens automatically while you live your normal life. Step 4, and this is the one that makes the whole system work. Automate the transfer. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your high-yield savings account the same day you get paid. Before you can spend it, before you can talk yourself out of it. This is called paying yourself first. The money moves before you even see it, which means you never have to rely on willpower. The system does the work for you. This one habit, automating your savings, is the single biggest difference between people who build wealth and people who keep wondering where their money went. Step 5. Whenever you get a windfall, a tax refund, a birthday gift, overtime pay, a bonus, drop at least half of it directly into your emergency fund. You were not counting on that money anyway. Routing half of it to your emergency fund can cut your timeline in half. What to do after you use it. Quick but important section. What happens when you actually have to use your emergency fund? Good news. This is exactly what it is for. Do not feel guilty. That is the fund doing its job. But the moment you use it, your #1 financial priority becomes rebuilding it. Before extra debt payments, before investing more, before anything extra. Refill the fund first. Why? Because the moment after you drain your emergency fund is the most vulnerable financial moment you can be in. If a second emergency hits right away and the fund is empty, you are back to using credit cards and going into debt. Rebuild it fast. Common mistakes to avoid. Let me hit the most common emergency fund mistakes really fast so you do not repeat them. Mistake 1. Keeping it in your regular checking account. Too easy to spend. Put it somewhere separate. Mistake 2. Investing your emergency fund. The stock market goes up and down. If the market drops 30% right when your transmission dies, you lose twice. Emergency funds should not be invested. They should be in a boring, stable, accessible savings account, period. Mistake 3. Setting the goal too high and never starting. Waiting until you can save $500 a month before you open the account is how years go by with nothing saved. Start with $25. Start with $10. Just start. Mistake 4. Using it for non-emergencies. I said it earlier and I will say it again. A sale is not an emergency. A want is not an emergency. Protect this money like it is the one thing standing between you and financial disaster, because it is. Mistake 5. Not adjusting your target as your life changes. If you move to a more expensive city, get a dog, have a kid, or take on a new fixed expense, recalculate your number and adjust your target. Here is the truth about emergency funds that nobody talks about. It is not just about the money. It is about the feeling. Once you have 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a savings account, something shifts. You stop feeling anxious every time an unexpected bill shows up. You stop making fear-based decisions. You stop taking jobs you hate because you have no cushion to walk away. You start making choices from a place of calm instead of panic. That is real financial freedom. Not being rich, just being safe. So here is your action plan from this video. Just 3 steps. 1. Open a high-yield savings account today if you do not have one. Takes 10 minutes. 2. Set your starter goal at $500 to $1,000. 3. Automate a transfer, no matter how small, to hit that goal. That is it. 3 steps. Do them this week. If this helped you, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need it. Subscribe so you do not miss video 5, where I am breaking down the exact strategy to pay off credit card debt fast, even on a tight income. And if you want to go deeper on budgeting and building wealth, I have linked a few of my favorite personal finance books in the description below. They are the ones I actually read and recommend, not just random picks. I will see you in the next one. Let's keep it simple.